Tropical was at MetaConnect. He called me on Discord from MetaConnect and was like, hey. I was like, hey. And he was like, I saw your video. I was like, okay. He's like, can we set up a longer call when I get back to Miami? I was like, okay. I thought he was going to be like I didn't know what to expect. I was like, I just shit on their game basically. Yeah. And he was like, definitely a guy who has like very good ideas on like how this should work, but I don't know Tarkov fanatic, and I like that you are, because I need somebody with a different perspective to write out a GDD for the game loop and generally how this is going to work. And he's like, basically, I need this by the end of 3 weeks. Go crazy. I said I'd have it to him in 2. I just finished it yesterday. We're going to have a testable build by December and get this shit done. But I can tell you that we're going to try our hardest not to have this flop on us.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tabor Tuesdays, episode 18. I am your host, Baguette Boy, joined as always by Quantum VR and El Cantoon. Say hello, guys.
Oh, welcome back.
Today we have back-to-back interview with Jakeypants. Say hello.
Hello.
We have some questions today. Starting off, we'll just alternate me, Quantum, El Cantoon, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah, all good.
All right. Question 1. Did you choose your name for YouTube?
How did I choose my name for you? Well, first of all, I want to say thanks for having me, guys. I'm a big fan of podcasts. I listen to them pretty much all the time, and I think it's really awesome what you're doing. So yeah, just wanted to thank you for having me. And where did I choose my name? God, I hate my name so much. I got to tell you, I can't tell you how much I hate my name. So, believe it or not, like I've had that a different name since I was doing probably playing like the first like Modern Warfare games. My name was always
Call of Duty OG.
Right? Yeah, like my name was always believe it or not, it was like Feed Me Gilfs.
Okay,
it was a really weird name. I wanted to like throw off my opponents because I was extra toxic in the COD lobbies, and so I started my YouTube with that name because I just didn't take it very seriously. It was just kind of a goofball thing, and yeah, so, and then I was like, dude, I gotta change my branding, and my buddy who's like introduced me to like Tarkov and like all these other games, and he's like, dude, just choose Jakeypants, and I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm just gonna choose that. That's really no meaning to it.
just oh my god, I hate Tarkov's worse than Tabor. Like they had a lot of weird
they got a lot of issues.
Like, a year and a half ago, they had some weird allegations.
Yeah, they have a lot of really sketchy stuff, but I've got almost over 1,600 hours in that game, and my buddy introduced me as 3,000. So yeah, we're big Tarkov fans. We like the game.
Yeah. Lots of people come over to Tabor through like extraction shooters like Tarkov, which is in part why I think Tarkov or Tabor is so popular.
Yeah,
those people here, APR. That sounds cool.
Yeah. Well, actually, I have something really exciting to tell you guys. I don't know if you know this, but I was hired by Tropical to write their entire extraction shooter from the ground up on a GGD, which is a game design document. So they've made me come up with the entire gameplay loop, the entire mode, and I'm the person who's basically designing the whole game from the ground up for them.
Oh damn!
Give us admin.
No.
I'm allowed to talk about like anything because like I wrote the whole thing. So if you guys want to talk about that or want details about that, I wrote the freaking thing. So yeah.
I might add some questions at the end.
Yeah. If we have time, we might have a few bonus questions. Next one, Quantum, go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, our next question is: when did you start playing Tabor?
When did I start playing?
Yeah.
When did they get the golden spoon?
I don't know. That was even before we played.
That was early. That was like when they had the old UI and there were no Ghost or Volt. Was it?
Yeah, no, that was way before Volk. Yeah, no, you're just Ghost for a few wipes after that.
Yeah, it was just like the tan character model, right?
Yeah, because and they had the old character model. Because the only wipe reward they had when I joined was the golden AK, and then I joined near the end of that wipe, and then we went over to the golden spoon. Yeah,
I like that you can decapitate people. Well, not decapitate, but you can like I don't know if I can say that word. Well, you can unalive people with the spoon.
Oh yeah, 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 very cool.
All right, next one. You guys missed one.
Oh, why did you start being a YouTuber, or what got you into content creation?
People asked me this today in a meeting, and I gave him like a terrible answer because I didn't know at the time, but I do have an answer for that. It's because like I always wanted to start a YouTube, and then I was like, fuck it, it's too saturated. And then I tried VR, and I like really liked it. I was like, damn, VR is so cool. Like I just love it. It felt like the first time I played like Elder Scrolls Oblivion, and I was like so like immersed, and I was like, holy crap. And I got that feeling every time I play VR, which is crazy because I haven't felt it like since that game. So I was like, then I recognized that VR is like super niche, and I was like, you know what? It's niche yet popular enough for me to do content in this space, and I could be like a slightly bigger fish in a smaller pond, and COD gamer or Tarkov creator, because there's so many of those. Yeah. So yeah, that's what made me do it, because I could tolerate VR, right? I was like, dude, I could play so much VR, I'm gonna get tons of content. So yeah, that's what made me decide.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that is an upside of like VR content creation. That's why
we're getting in early when it's still growing. VR's still growing.
It's so early.
Yeah,
we're actually solidifying ourselves.
Yeah. It's very early. Like the fact that Mark Zuckerberg has basically like he's in the red about 20 billion with a B, and you know so many other companies are investing so much, like Apple. Mm-hmm. It goes to show like people have to realize that companies like that have more foresight in markets than anybody. Like like Mark Zuckerberg, his main mentor is Bill Gates, and Bill Gates is known to be the greatest businessman in terms of insight than any businessman to ever exist. Like the man basically brought the internet to the world, and so you know Mark Zuckerberg, he consults Bill Gates before he takes on any endeavor. So the fact that they changed Facebook to Meta and are investing this amount of money into this space, it's kind of a slam dunk. Like, you know, this is going to be the new internet. You know, this is going to be the new standard technology in 10 to 20 years. So that's what's exciting about it.
Yeah.
You've brought this up, and now I can't not ask this question. Do you think VRs will replace phones? We'll just walk around with headsets frying our brains 24/7?
Yeah. So soon we are going to have standard. They'll be like reading glasses. They'll be that small. And we'll be able to do anything with them. You know, you'll be able to consult with ChatGPT, a really advanced version of AI. You'll be able to ask it anything. Just because, like, I use ChatGPT and AI every day, and it is so unbelievably useful. I just can't see that not being a thing. You know, you're gonna be able to ask it to call your mom. You know, voice, basically like video chat your brother, like at any time, at any point. You'll be able to go to a coffee shop with reader glasses, something as innovative as that, sit down at a table and go, pull up, you know, my brother. Your brother's going to sit at the chair across from you, and it's going to be like you're having coffee with him. It's going to be, and you can kind of tell it's going to be that way because in terms of social interaction, that's where these conglomerates go to, is like, you got like Facebook, it became so big because they capitalize on social interaction. And I think VR is going to be the next way we socialize and share information. And so, yeah, basically, we're going to have this thing frying our brains 24/7.
Yeah, that sounds healthy.
Yep.
And my follow-up, my legitimate question related to, you know, the game we're talking about, have a whole podcast centered around. What's your favorite map?
Favorite map is Makam, yes. Probably daytime, but nighttime's cool too.
Nighttime's the OG one, though.
It's the OG one, exactly. Yeah. I love urban maps. I don't know why. They just seem, there's something so realistic about them. I'm a big immersion fan. Like, if I can relate to a game in like a way that makes me feel like, damn, this could be real. Like, that's what Makam Yes makes me feel like shit, this could be like, it's a cool looking map. I love the flanks. I think flanks are a super important part of like any shooter because it makes you strategize. It makes you play mentally. Makam Yes is just great that way. I love Island though too because the POIs are great for flanks as well. Yeah. That's why I fucking hate Underground so much. There's no flanks. It's just tunnels. You don't strategize. Or
they'll hear you and then you just die either way.
Yeah, you hear you. You look one direction and that's all you're doing. There's barely any angles you can take. Like, there's just no strategies. Just, I hate that freaking match so much.
Yeah. But I think that's why people like it's easy, and it's good loot.
right? Yeah.
Because everyone goes kitted on the underground map. So if you can kill them, you get really good stuff out of it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if we get a purple, we usually go to like Makta.
Yeah.
For some reason we do. And we went, our first purple, not our first purple, Quantum's first purple, I believe, was Motka Tower. And I think the best thing we got was a tier 4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
And like
that was
3 bars.
So
It was
sad.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
Yeah, we always go island.
Yeah. Unless we get a skull. Unless we really want to indulge in the painful 7-layer to hell burrito that is Missile Silo,
Yeah.
we'll usually just go island. Unless we really need content or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next question, Quantum.
Oh yeah, so what is your favorite gun in the game?
It always has been since the very beginning, and still is the AS Val.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes, my brother!
I've made probably a dozen videos about the AS Val before Timeless did that one that made it fucking crazy popular. I love that gun. It's overpowered. I think they did nerf it. I think they nerfed it because of the silencer if they did with reduced
They changed that back.
velocity and stuff. Yeah. I'm really feeling the bullet drop on it too. But other than that, it's just a very powerful gun. I love it.
Yeah. It's quite good. I can see why you like Motka and ASVAL. That's a dangerous combo because it's kind of close mid range.
Yeah. But I do love Island, so I play Island a lot, but like you just have to compensate for the bullet drop for sure.
AK5C and M1 SAS will always be top 2 in my heart, but ASVAL.
Those are good.
These spells are so satisfying too.
Yeah.
Except
The
you don't
M1
have.
SAS is probably the most satisfying gun to get a kill with. I don't know why.
Dude. I think that gun's so cool. I just never use it. I don't know why. I think it's such a cool gun.
It.
I know. I
Feels
gotta
like
use
a
It's so expensive.
That's so real.
Yeah.
No, I love that gun. But the AK5C is by far my favorite AR every day.
Yeah, a few people really like that gun. I'm not a fan. I don't like the recoil pattern, especially.
Sorry, get them off. Nope, get them off. Thank you for listening. Have a good evening. No one goes to big fans. Everyone unfollow.
Did they
Whoa.
nerf the recoil? Did they make the recoil pattern different from when it first released?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, okay. Because I tried it when it first released to make a video about it, like gonna be like, oh, this thing's fucking amazing, but I just didn't like the recoil pattern. So if they changed it, that makes sense. Why so many people like it now.
Yeah, that's fair. Anyway,
Okay.
next question.
Next question. Yeah. How do you think the game's doing so far? Like the direction is heading. Do you like it or think it's in the wrong direction?
So in terms of like, if we're going to seriously talk in a philosophic way, I think the developers have been doing an amazing job at particularly the decisions they're making with the game. The things they're adding, like they've added so many things that I feel like were good decisions in terms of, Maka and like how they view the game, how they've talked about it. I just feel like they're going the right direction, basically taking Tarkov's playbook and just not trying to reinvent the wheel. And I think that's a very hard thing to do because there's been so many strategies that have just failed. And the fact that they're just sticking to a formula that really works, incredibly smart. I think that it's the growth and the popularity this early in the game is a telltale sign of their future, more a bit more specific things. The game does not represent a product that they're promising to people. I think there's a lot of issues. I think it's a bit of a joke with the grabbing and like how the feel, the in-game, like just the polish. I think it's a bit of a joke. It's just, there's some pretty obvious things that are just ridiculous, like making a water filter can only fill up like a quarter of like the jug, yet the jug is like cheaper or the same price as the water filter. So like there's no reason for use a water filter anymore. You just buy jugs. Like there's no just make the water filter so it can fill up 10 jugs before it runs out and make the water filter like 100,000 or something. Like just like it's just like obvious stupid things that they've like overlooked. The fact that they can't figure out throwing is ridiculous, and they don't ever bring attention to it. That throwing is completely broken. A lot of people disagree because I get it, it's different on different systems and stuff, but not when you go play a game like Veil or like Contractors. Like the throwing fucking works flawlessly. Like there's weight, it works well. Like there's no, like when I'm trying to put things onto my kiosk on the belt, like things are flying out of my hand in opposite directions, and I'm just like, dude, this has been in the game for so fucking long, and it's such an integral part of VR. Like the fact that you can't polish this out a little bit is just it's just a joke, honestly.
Apparently, it's a skill issue according to the devs.
Yeah, I know, and they've said that so many times. Oh yeah, also, I like Scott a lot. I think he's an incredibly smart businessman. My whole family have been are business people, and I am too. And but how they interact with the community is incredibly. It's pathetic. Their whole Discord. Actually, had an interaction with Scott the other day about this exact thing, and I said, I basically just typed in the Discord. This was right after their update. I'm like, don't bother, guys. Scott only responds to negative comments, and he's like, oh, that's not true. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. This must be a different Scott. And then he immediately switched up and started replying to positive comments. And I told him this is what I told him. I said, this is exactly what I said. I said, bullies bully because they're looking for a reaction. And in a Discord like this, it's something. I said something like you're making it rotten really fast. Like you're basically adding this rot in this Discord, and so it's a feedback loop, right? You expect everybody to be shitty and toxic, then you treat them that way, and then they become more shitty and toxic. So this feedback loop that you're putting yourself in, this is very common with people with like poor mental health, and I can tell he's a bit of a difficult guy to get along with, and I can tell his mental health isn't all there, and that sucks for him. But like I warned him. I said, change it, man. Just change your attitude. Like you think everyone's shitty because you're projecting that exact thing. You assume everyone's shitty. That's why they're being that way. And so and you can see it. It's obvious ever since I got involved with Vale and their team over there. And like I didn't know much about Vale before I got involved with them. But like going over the Discord and interacting with their community and getting like really, really involved, it is completely different. Like the whole culture is so different. And it's because the devs interact with their community in a very positive way. And all those like crazy trolls and stuff, they get like so ignored. I can't even badly ignored they get. This big troll or like some crazy person starts like trying to troll all of us, and they just like get zero response. They're not feeding that at all. Dude, the Discord is so different. Like the community is so different over there. Yeah. Anyway,
that's what we've mostly heard. That the Vale community is very good.
Yeah, like, it's crazy with poor. They just think they have to play hardball and just be these tough guys. And that's why I say the mental health portion of it over on that end is terrible. We all know why Mr. Woody left. That's why. It's fucking toxic. It's the whole neighborhood is just toxic. So anyway, I wish them all the success in the world, but I've had bosses like Scott before, and they're a nightmare to be around. They suck. Their attitude, they're having manic attitude one week and then really horribly depressed attitude the next week. And I can tell he's that kind of guy. And that's unfortunate. And I hope their company does well, but he's got to sharpen up a little bit and stop being such a downer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Going back real quick onto the throwing thing. I agree with you. It sucks. It's horrible. Except for gun flinging. That shit's so fun.
Gun flinging? What's that?
Flinging.
Have you done that?
Have you never heard of it?
I don't know what it is.
Okay, basically, you take a gun, right? Any gun. Doesn't matter. You reach your, whichever hand is your non-dominant hand. So for me, my left, I'd reach my left hand out as far as I can and pull, kind of like I'm pulling back a bow, right? And then pull my right hand as far back as I can as well. But not like extend it, like keep it. And then I think it's let go and then really quickly let go of the front and your gun will sail like... I saw a dude launch from Lighthouse Prison.
I didn't know that was a thing.
In a YouTube video. It's so funny.
That's hilarious.
I've seen like people fling AKs across the map and I'm just trying to like fight a guy. It's so funny.
Yeah, you should definitely try to keep
That's
on
hilarious.
just like a trash gun somewhere. Yeah,
that's
just flinging
I know stuff in that game all the time that I'm like, what the hell? Like the spinning on the mountain. When you're about to fall down a mountain, you just spin your controller and your guy just like floats. Like,
no,
that shit's crazy.
They patched that, but yeah.
Oh, did they? Dude,
that was patched like 3-4 ago. I would know. I read the patch notes because we have an amazing podcast, which you should subscribe to.
I think I am subscribed to it. I think I am.
Yes, but like our fans,
I'll definitely do that if I'm not.
Yeah. It's maybe make a short and tell all your fans to.
Yeah.
Are there any other like content creators you're in touch with that?
Some pretty good friends with Puma. He did that like backpack bait video. You guys ever seen that?
Oh, is that like
I've seen 15-second reviews. If I could have 15-second reviews on podcast, I would die happy. I swear to God. I love his content.
Who? 15 seconds?
Yeah, it's crazy. So he's like the first actual like Quest user that I've seen get views that's not posting Gorilla Tag, but it's because like his Tabor content, it's not about like the raids he goes on or anything. It's just like the stuff he gets up to in his raids is so hilarious, and like all his
he's so creative with it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like I don't think I know him unless
Definitely
Look him
check
up on
out, though.
TikTok. He's really like he's LS Toast level popular on TikTok.
Oh, is he? Okay, yeah.
Like he's really
My buddy knows LS Toast. You know Grim Reaper from Twitch? He's like
yes,
Yeah.
bring LS Toast
yeah.
on.
LS Toast was like came on his stream one time and asked him to play. But yeah, the only guys I really know are like Glocky from TikTok and like Puma from YouTube.
Is Glocky the guy that says block?
Yeah, it's Glock, that guy.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought he was kind of a newer creator. I was like kind of looking at some of his videos, but he doesn't seem to have much traction. But I like his content.
Yeah, I feel like I see him a lot because he posts a lot. So, but yeah, he's not like a big creator. Puma's definitely he's very professional.
We tried. Who has no socials though?
He doesn't take it seriously enough. Like he posted like the backpack bait video was one of his first ones. I think it's at like 150,000 views now. Like
Damn.
the guy is incredibly good creator. He just doesn't take it seriously enough because he's busy. But like he's so good. Like if you guys, I can't praise him enough because he really taught me like content creation and like I was spinning my tires for a year. You know, like just kind of doing nothing with it. And then he really like changed my mind about how to do it. He taught me a lot about how to do emails and things like that. And things are just really starting to pick up for me now. And I'm really, really happy. Like it's incredible because like videos can provide you so much opportunity. And I posted a few videos about Veil, posted a few videos about Ghost of Tabor. And like now I'm being hired by X Lab to do their whole extraction mode and everything. Like the opportunities are just amazing. And like, and my growth recently has been really, really good. Not like Puma level good. Obviously he's very professional. He actually went to school for media and all that kind of stuff, but it's been amazing, like more than I could ever hope for. So yeah, I can't thank that guy enough. I have. So yeah, he's definitely a guy you should talk to. He's cool.
Yeah, what are your tips for content creation? Because I did try YouTube for a year. I don't really talk about it
You
anymore.
gained decent traction though. 500 subs ain't bad for a year.
Yeah, it wasn't even a year though. It was just like shit content though. Is what I didn't like.
So I think there's a few tips I could give people, and obviously I'm not a huge creator, so take it with a grain of salt. But like, I'll give you the tip Puma gave me. What I found, like what I learned myself was, you know, everybody knows you have to be like mega consistent. The problem with being mega consistent is if you're doing content that burns you out, going to stop making content. You have to avoid that like the plague. Do not get into burnout mode. But you need consistency. So having both of those things is a balance. So I shifted my content. I got monetized through gameplay videos, but gameplay videos are tough because you got to put together a storyline. You got to put together really cool plays. Like it takes a long time to do that. What I found is that I like yapping a lot and like talking. And I found my video essays were doing so much better than my gameplay videos. They were so much easier to make and they were just overall more enjoyable. So like you find a strength. I think if you're really good at something, anybody who's really good at something should think about making content. And you just find your strength in the thing that you don't get burnt out on. So for me, it's just yapping and video essays. And they just do so much better because now I can be more consistent and be less burnt out. I think the biggest tip that Puma gave me, though, was thumbnails. He said, and he's like a Photoshop pro. They are very sharp thumbnails. And what he told me, because we went through this thumbnail period together where he was really showing me, he said, take screenshots out of games, like almost like a thumbnail ready, and then make the lighting dramatic. He says, look at Timeless video, look at Proxy Boom's videos, like look at how dramatic the shadows are, the lighting. So like I was like, holy shit, because I had this very like pastel thumbnail of like an AS Val and there was just no lighting. It looked clean and really good, but he's like, there's something wrong with it. And he was figuring it out too. He said, oh wait, this is what it is. Dramatic lighting. And dude, the idea of dramatic lighting boosted my videos, my clicks, like insane. Make the lighting dramatic. Make the thumbnail look like really, really dramatic. Yeah, that's what I can say about that.
I'm kind of like looking through your thing here, and I'm kind of
Puma's
like
the
how you
one
killed
with
the.
it's spelled with like a Y, right? Like Puma.
Yeah, Payuma. Yeah, Payuma.
Yeah, his stuff is sick.
Yeah, he's an amazing creator. He just doesn't take it seriously.
Yeah.
I'm seeing kind of some of your thumbnails here, like especially like the 3-man squad that got really popped to me, like off rip, pretty good. Like I see what you're saying when you mean dramatic light.
Yeah, those were all my like older videos too when I was grinding for monetization and stuff. Yeah, Puma. Yeah, he's a very smart creator. He went to school for media, and they had to learn Photoshop, and like he's really schooled in this stuff. I was friends with Proxy Boom before he started YouTube. He only had 1,000 followers on Twitch when I knew him, and he followed me. He was one of my first followers, but we don't really interact anymore. But yeah, I know he's a really nice guy, so you might be worth reaching out to him.
Yeah, we have reached out to him. I just got back though. I wonder if it's better like reaching out on Discord than email though, but I don't know. I just like email. It's more professional.
I would just do both, honestly. The thing about like grinding and hustling, like I've told you guys, like I've had my own business for a long time, and I was a musician for many years, like before that, and like you just grind, man. You don't take no for an answer, and you just email, message, you ask, you always gotta like you gotta try, you gotta take a swing at everything.
Have you heard of Michael Zhao? He's a fairly new Tabor content creator, but he's like his videos are clean. Like they have this weird like I don't know how he does it.
Let me look
they have
him
a
up.
different vibe to them.
Yeah, we've been trying to reach out to him.
Wow.
Is that guy that we went to his live stream and he talked to us for like half a second, and then we immediately were like, "Oh my god!"
And he said he checked his emails, but he didn't.
What's how do you spell his
HAO or OA?
Yeah, ZHAO.
Oh, this guy, I've seen his. Yeah, he has great thumbnails. Yeah, I think he's
got like
it's
the
interesting
Mr.
because like
Beast thumbnails.
Yeah, exactly. I think his earlier content was more like travel stuff. He's just trying to like find his find his niche, right? And I think he's really hit on the Ghost of War stuff. Yeah, I've seen his thumbnails. Yeah, he makes great content. I don't think he's mega consistent either. Sometimes he is, sometimes he's not. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know him, but yeah, I know he's pretty new to the scene and he's hitting it hard. So that's good.
I mean, we're keeping up in terms of consistency. We upload almost every week, except for that one time when I went to Mexico.
I think what we need though is just more time. Like it's not going to be like 2 months that we blow up, right? Like just that's not how it works.
Yeah. You guys got to make it a religion, right? Like it's not going to go well sometimes, and it's going to go well other times. But like I think a lot of people don't take responsibility for the hard work they got to put in these days, and like you just keep going at it. If you believe in it, you keep going, right? Like have the gusto to like grind, but like have the wisdom to know that it's not working when it's not. But I think podcast is a really great idea. I think you guys should just like generalize. I know it's like a Tabor podcast, and that's really cool. And I think you guys are doing a cool thing. So yeah, keep it up, man. That's all I can say.
Yeah, that was something Ego did tell us that I think I agree with a lot. Is try to rebrand to maybe more general VR, right? Instead of just
we were talking with a friend earlier today about it.
Yeah. But
I do agree with Ego. I like the idea of a core podcast. That's kind of why we got it started. I also like name. I wouldn't mind rebranding, honestly. And I'm very, very, very seriously considering us rebranding to almost even fail, because they're basic. Like when Extract is out, I think Tabor's gonna die unless they do something. Because everyone fails so much already, and if they also have Extraction, it's basically over for Tabor.
It's gonna be different, man, because the video that got me hired onto their company was a video being very critical of their ideas of adding an extraction shooter. It's my favorite videos because of the essay style that I did, and it makes a lot of like coherent sense, and I just thought it was like so well put together. But I was very critical. I was like, everybody thinks they can add an extraction shooter in their game and instant success because it's been so big in the past. But you guys got to watch it. It's very like, here are pitfalls. Here are the things that people are likely doing that is going to ruin this entire like your efforts. And I was just really critical. I was like, this isn't going to work because of so many different things, and it will work only because of a few. And I described everything that like the reasons why. The day after Tropical was at MetaConnect, he called me on Discord from MetaConnect and was like, hey. I was like, hey, and he was like, I saw your video. I was like, okay. He's like, can we set up a longer call when I get back to Miami? I was like, okay. And so he gets back and he's like, yeah. So I thought he was gonna be like I didn't know what to expect. I was like, I just shit on their video, like, or shit on their game basically. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, so I've got everybody in the studio. I don't know anybody who likes Tarkov. Definitely a guy who has like very good ideas on like how this should work, but I don't know Tarkov fanatic, and I like that you are, because I need somebody with a different perspective to write out a GDD for the game loop and generally how this is going to work. And he's like, basically, I need this by the end of 3 weeks. Go crazy. I said I'd have it to him in 2. I just finished it yesterday, handed it to him. We had a meeting today. And basically we're going to go from there, where he's going to hand it to his lead game dev. We're going to have a testable build by December and get this shit done. But I can tell you that we're going to try our hardest not to have this flop on us.
Yeah, and it is good, like, having Tabor as kind of like a role model to see what worked and like what hasn't worked in the past, and then build off of that.
I'm honestly kind of considering this like kind of a test run to see how we do.
Yeah,
and we'll probably
learning the algorithm
and everything, and just be like, hey, we're a VR podcast now.
Yeah,
not like a war podcast.
Because there's so much.
Goat wanted to do that, like the extraction podcast, typically just to cover all extractions. But we're not consistent. We're really busy with their own content. But something like that obviously is a good idea. Obviously, I think so because we want to do it. But if it has to be VR specific and extraction based, that's definitely far more niche. Niche isn't always bad, but it is niche, you know?
Yeah, I'd say we should go more for like the gameplay side of VR and not necessarily like what's happening with meta and like all that other stuff. And just
we could do a sale podcast, guys. We rebrand and become a sale podcast.
What about
even better, XA? We become an XA podcast, a game that hasn't been updated in 8 years, I think.
What about Bondra the Veil?
Oh no.
What is that? I've never heard of that.
Veil, but it's Fey in French.
What do you think they should bring back or focus on in Tabor?
What should they bring back or focus on? They need to focus on wide, large-scale maps like Island with POIs that offer a variety of gameplay styles and freedom and variety of gameplay styles. The beauty behind extraction shooters are that they're open and that you can play it the way you decide to play it. It's a free-formed subgenre of game that caters to many types of players. That's what's so beautiful about extraction shooters, and they need to focus on that kind of stuff. Not come yet, go more that route. No more underground, no more silo, like move to a free-formed gameplay. Copy Tarkov, don't reinvent the wheel, which they're doing, which I think is smart. So, yeah.
On that note about the map, what are your thoughts on the mall map and the coal mine map that are coming? Spoiler question, but I just thought I'd get your thoughts.
Yeah, again, don't make it like underground. Don't make it linear. Don't like add angles. If you guys have ever played Tarkov and played Interchange, like there's angles, there's outdoors, there's variety. Like it gives you options, and that's what extraction shooters need to do. Give people as many options as possible. In Tarkov, they were having such an issue with nakeds, right? Naked players. Instead of doing something easy like making a minimum loot requirement or minimum gear going into maps, that would seem obvious. Many games have done that. Why not, right? Instead of doing that, they developed a very complicated system called Tagged and Cursed, where scavs were more attracted to naked players or players with just a pistol. This way, you could still do 0 to hero runs, which is like 40% of the player base, maybe 60 in when you're talking Tabor. That way, they didn't get rid of or prosecute those types of players. They just made it harder for them to kind of scam everything. And that's how dedicated they were to keeping free-formed open gameplay. And it was brilliant. You have to do these things. You can't just prosecute players for wanting to play a certain way. You're just shitting on your player base. You're shitting on your clients, your customers, people giving you money, right? So Tarkov's done a lot of things right. They do a lot of things wrong, but they've done a lot of things right. Same.
It also makes it more realistic because someone would target someone with less loot than kidded people.
Exactly.
Hey,
you're making it hard.
But I also don't know. I'm gonna go fight the guy with the LMG and impenetrable armor. I'm gonna go fight the guy in a juggernaut suit, or I can fight the guy with a Glock and a Dream with 3 bullets in it.
That's right. The Tagged and Cursed system is brilliant. It makes it so you can still 0 to hero. It makes it challenging. It adds a type of gameplay or play style instead of just taking one away. And Tropical was going to do the same thing. He was going to go, I hate his pet peeve was naked players. He's like, oh, I hate naked players, blah, blah. He was going to do the same thing. He told me his idea. He wanted one map where you could go in naked or with gear, and all the other maps having a minimum gear requirement. I told him, don't fucking do this. You're going to destroy your player base. You're going to destroy your game. Think about all the games that came after Tarkov that tried doing that. You can't because we don't remember them. They're not around anymore. So yeah, you need to keep open freeform gameplay. The reason Tarkov took that approach is because they wanted to be like DayZ, like a milsim DayZ, and they always had a clear vision in mind of what they wanted their game to be, and they've never deviated from it. That's what's so important. That's why Tarkov works. So yeah. So I have some very strong feelings about that. That's why Tropical. I think Tropical reached out and was like, made me the man.
That's
good. Give us admin anyway.
Yeah.
With everything planned for the future, do you think that Ghost of Tabor, the video game, will improve or not?
I think it will improve tremendously. I believe in the game strongly. I played, my buddy who got me into Tarkov. He played Tarkov in 2017 when it first hit market, and it was unbelievable piece of shit. Like, you could barely do anything. Armor wasn't working unless you took it on and put it on again. Like, the whole game was just so messy, but people loved it, right? But it was like, the graphics were unbelievable. They're using this like engine that was used for Flash games. Like, it was awful. Like, it was just a terrible game. And now looking at Tarkov, like, it's incredible, the upgrades they've done and the systems they've added to this like hodgepodge engine that they've always had, that just like they're holding it together with duct tape. But they fixed it up and they polished it to such a level. It's almost a miracle. And I think Ghost of War is going to do the same thing. I really believe that. So it's going to be one of the biggest games in VR that has ever existed. It's going to be not just the best game in VR, but it's going to be a game that they call a market mover, bringing people into the VR space. Yeah, that's what I think.
Which is good. Why we're all cementing ourselves as the OG YouTubers.
Very important. Be early. Exactly.
Yeah. We gotta
capitalize on the market. That's what you do with Bitcoin.
Be early. That's how Timeless did it. He was super early, and yeah, now he's.
One could say he's been here so long he's timeless.
Yeah, it's a good name.
Anyway, all right, I gotta go.
So let's get this intro out, or I mean the outro.
Outro.
Yeah.
Okay, just edit this and just put it at like the very end.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Have an excellent evening, nighttime, whatever. Doesn't matter. We will see you guys in the next one. Jakeypants, thank you very much for being on today.
Thank you, sir. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, I love podcasts. It was great.
All right. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Have an excellent evening. For Trust No One. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.